go. There's the back. Bringing it up, that's not too bad. Okay, let's get that sound going so you can hear me. Alrighty, so what do we need to do? We need to grab this body, and we've got that body. We need to get in there and drill those holes. I've got the drill bit too. I've got black hardware. It's got Mr. Glynn's Cruel Mistress vintage telly pickups, brass saddles, bone nut. It's all good. Where the weed at? What's going on? Thank you for the follow. Good to see you. Welcome on in.
Who?
Okay, so that's that guy there. But that's to show you that copper-looking red cedar when it really gets polished up. It really looks copperish.
Come here, little guy. Come here, my little boy. Hello. 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 How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Hey? Good boy.
To go on top. So that's what we did there. That back's going to be sensational. That is so smooth. Very smooth. Ha! Absolutely. They are drums. They're percussion instruments as well as stringed instruments. They can be used. If you watch the old flamenco guys playing, the old Spanish guys, they're doing all that stuff. They're going tippa-tappa, tippa-tippa-dum, ring, 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 tippa-tappa, tippa-tappa, dum, ding, dum, dang. So it's all good. Right, here we go. There's the back. Bringing it up, that's not too bad. Okay, let's get that sound going so you can hear me. Alrighty, so what do we need to do? We need to grab this body, and we've got that body. We need to get in there and drill those holes. I've got the drill bit too. I've got black hardware. It's got Mr. Glynn's Cruel Mistress vintage telly pickups, brass saddles, bone nut. It's all good. Where the weed at? What's going on? Thank you for the follow. Good to see you. Welcome on in.
Who?
Okay, so that's that guy there. But that's to show you that copper-looking red cedar when it really gets polished up. It really looks copperish.
Come here, little guy. Come here, my little boy. Hello. 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 How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Hey? Good boy.
To go on top. So that's what we did there. That back's going to be sensational. That is so smooth. Very smooth. Ha! Absolutely. They are drums. They're percussion instruments as well as stringed instruments. They can be used. If you watch the old flamenco guys playing, the old Spanish guys, they're doing all that stuff. They're going tippa-tappa, tippa-tippa-dum, ring, 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 tippa-tappa, tippa-tappa, dum, ding, dum, dang. So it's all good. Hello there, what's going on? Welcome to the show. I have got a couple of new cameras reconfigured, so we'll see how that goes today. I think I've got it down pat. We've got some good performance figures at the moment. I shouldn't have too many struggles. What are we doing? Dana's in the house. What's going on? And Tom is here too. Good day to you folks. Here's our neck carved out. There's our profile. It's just about ready. I've just got to sand that guy. I won't be doing that now. I'm going to put this guy down. We're going to do something else. But as you can see, it's turned out pretty good. It's a nice, about 23, 24 mil, just under an inch. Probably take off a little bit more with some sanding. And another, say, 16th will come off there. And we're good then. We should be in a good position to put some frets in that. And we're going to put the wings on this guy today as well. So that's what I'm going to do in a little bit. Put these wings on. But first things first, I need to double check a couple of things with the other neck that we had strapped in. So let's get that guy out and take the clamps off and see how that fretboard for the Telecaster turned out. What's going on? Mav's in the house too. Mav. It's very funny today. I just got a text from my son who's been flying pretty much for 24 hours. He just arrived in Vancouver in Canada. So he's in Hank's part of the woods. I said, drop in, take all his flame maple, put it in your bag, and ship it over to me. Ha! Anyway, let's go to the bench and let me get me some guitars. I'll get my other neck and we'll get that neck unclamped and see what that looks like. There we go. This guy here. Let me get that camera up a little bit higher. There we go. Look at all those clamps. Clamps galore. Clamps galore. We need to trim this guy up. We need to trim this guy up. We need to radius and get that prepped to fit into the neck. I'm going to fill this little inlay here as well so we can get that guy all filled in. We're going to go with a purple heart, Dana. You'll be happy to know, Dana, we're going with a purple heart. That will make you... Gio's arms are very tired. That's right. We're going to make you very happy, Dana, by going purple heart. Hank does have some choice wood in the stock. Yeah, he's got some good stuff. Hank does get some good that walnut he gets is pretty cool, and he's obviously got lots of spruce and lots of lovely maple. And Rage just quietly has some pretty serious timber out back as well. While we're at it, let's not beat ourselves. Let's not muck around, as they say. Let's not muck around. We know for a dead fact that our friend Ragey McRage is doing his thing. The bridge arrived for this thing today as well, so most of the hardware's here. Let me put these clamps away because there's too many clamps. You can never have enough clamps. Where is that, Terry? Hey, what's going on, Bumstead? Marky Mark's in the house. Big shout out, please, Dana, for Mark. Dana, you'll be happy to know that we've got our commands back. We've got cowbells. We've got new follow audio. We've got new raid, the sirens back. I did put some old things back. Now, I don't know if we can trigger the command. We can't trigger the cowbell with a command yet. I'm going to work on that, but we're all there. Dana ate Terry. Did she? Put a little bit of sauce on her and gobble her up like a pancake. We're going to cut those F-holes out of that cap as well today. I'm just hanging these clamps up and we'll get started. And that's what we're going to do first. So as you can see here, there's the guy there. We're going to fill that guy in. I'm going to fill that in and then put this aside, and then I'm going to get the cap, and we're going to cut those F-holes out. It is a family friendly. Look, it's not my fault that your mind is in the gutter, Tom. It's nobody's fault that your brain is in the gutter, my friend. So kindly pick yourself up out of the gutter and get back on the horse. Very funny. I do like your dad jokes and your innuendo. It's right in my pocket, in my lane, as they say. I was going to say something else, but you would construe it as some kind of foul suggestion, so I won't say that. Ha! Yes, indeed, my friend. Yes, indeed. Me Bumstead's in the house. No, she has a rough day and is going home early to get some rest. The poor Bubba. I hope she's okay. Well, we'll send her our love and we'll send prayers for her so that she recovers Dana, if you ask me, I think that after about half an hour of lying down, her OCD will kick in and she'll start wondering what the hell's going on and she'll get online. Let me tell you. Let me tell you that for nothing. So we've got a new camera here. The CPU is doing really, really well. It's nice and low. I'll tell you what I've done. I've got two new cameras. I've disabled the camera on the laptop, so the built-in cam, just in case it was drawing too much CPU from the graphics card. I have got a dedicated card for the graphics in here. But so what I did was I plugged in two external cameras to do the main camera work. And that seems to have corrected a couple of things, but I've also tweaked some settings as well. So we'll see how we go. So far, so good. I guess give me a 1 if that's clear enough. To me, it looks clear. Give me a 1 if you can hear me clearly. Hopefully, we won't lose our mics. The bench stream is also coming across nicely, I think. There it is there. Bang. There's the main stream. So I think we're coming okay. Good. Oh, she doesn't have internet at her house. Really? Are you telling me she's at work when she tunes into this show? Dana, don't tell me that. Dana, what are you trying to tell me? What are you saying? Speak in my language so I can understand you. Maybe not in my accent, but speak in your Kanzerian accent and tell me what the heck you're talking about. Clear and crisp. Excellent. All right. Whoops, wrong scene. I'm going to get some Purple Heart. And we're going to fill this in. Dana, you're going to have kittens because we're putting Purple Heart in this guy. Purple Heart, where is it? Here it is. Grab my glue. It's a slow curing glue, but it does, this Gorilla glue that I use is a funny mixture. It actually cures in about 3 hours as opposed to super glue, which cures in about 3 seconds. It's not a long life CA. I think it's a combination. I don't know what it is. It's some kind of acrylic based thing. But anyway, the bottom line is it cures rock hard. And when you sand it, it polishes up really well. So I like using this little glue here. I think it is a CA. It's just a funny CA. It's a different... But we're going to use it to mix up some Purple Heart. And we're going to just fill this guy in and get that guy all covered and get those gaps all closed off so that we can then sand it flush and get a nice little border around that guy. Get a nice little border and a little aura around him. And it's a little bit abstract because it's very mosaic. So it's going to look cool, though, I reckon, if we just fill in some of those gaps with something darker. You've got the pinks and the blues and the greens, and you're going to have that dark purple color come through when we mix it up. So let's do that. Let's grab our little mixer board here. Let's swizzle some glue and some powder on there and get cracking. I love Gorilla Glue. Gorilla Glue is good. It does the job for me. I like using it for little things like, dots and inlays and stuff. I get good control out of it. I've put a fair bit on there because it does tend to drink up a lot of this stuff. So we're going to stir it through nice and firmly. Get a nice big dollop of that stuff in there. Get it nice and wet. And then we'll stir that through. Get a nice muddy paste. It does get tacky. I gotta work that. I gotta really work it. The beauty is, though, it does not cure immediately, so you don't get A, any noxious fumes coming up, and B, it doesn't turn rock hard within 5 seconds. I don't have to rush it. So, and it's better than, say, wood glue, because wood glue is a bit plasticky. This cure is a lot harder. So wood glue is a bit plasticky, and I don't like it. It doesn't sand well, I find. Even when it's cured, I just don't like it for inlays. Some people use wood glue for inlays, and it does the job, but it just doesn't. The finish isn't just right. Isn't as right as I like it. Let's just get this. It's quite dense. This Purple Heart dust, sawdust here. So we're just going to really work that in. Now this glue is quite stiff. It's not as runny as CA, so I need to really add a fair bit in there and get it nice and wet and nice and runny. I want it to be semi-viscous. I want it to flow a little bit into those gaps. There we go. That's a lot better. Still stiff like wood putty, but it is a bit softer. It's a bit muddier. Use all of that. Just going to work that over, get that nice and no dry bits, just get that glue all the way through, get a nice consistency, nice pasty consistency. Like that, and we're good to go now. We can add that guy in. So I'm going to grab my little scraper, use that as a little applicator. The Gorilla Glue, there it is. That's tight bond, but anyway, it's good enough. It's good enough, Dana. We know what you mean. Just going to spoon that on and just rub it in, just stir it in. Try and push that in. Stack it into the corners, and then I'm going to scrape it across. It's important to push it in and get a build up so there's no bubbling, because once you sand some of it away, if there's a bubble underneath, you actually end up exposing the inlay, or the Purple Heart in this instance will have a bubble, and it'll actually open up and be an open pore, and we have to refill. So now that that's sort of really sort of evenly sort of smeared over there, I'm just going to grab and be liberal. Don't don't stinge on it. Just go really hard. Spread that in. Remember that the stuff that goes on the surface will leave when we radius this. We're taking a couple of mil off this, so that's pretty good there. And just get a nice coverage right over the inlays as well. Don't worry about the slots. We're going to re-slot this, so that's okay. And that's good to go. We can leave that now. I did take off some of the excess. I don't want to sand too much off. There's no gaps there. There we go. And what I'll do is I'll dry off these end bits here so that we don't get any. And then we're going to cut that away anyway, but I'm just going to dry around the end bits there and just have that inlay covered. It's all nice and purple, Dana. Look at it. Dana, it's all nice and purple. What's going on there? I'll check that when it dries. Once it's sanded, you can see if there's any shrinkage. This stuff tends to shrink a little less than say, something like a wood glue would. And that's another reason I like it for inlays. It doesn't shrink as much. JB in the house. JB, what's going on? Good to see you. Welcome on in. Little bit of inlaying. That's done. We're going to put this guy away now. And we're going to grab the cover or the cap. We're going to cut those F-holes and shape some of those F-holes. So let me just set up here, guys and girls. I'll hang this dude up. Dry away, Missy. It's going to dry away. I'll put the glue away. And the Purple Heart's gone. We've still got a lot of Purple Heart left over, which is good. Let me just scrape some of this stuff off and get rid of it. Okay. In the bink. Oops. And I'll quickly say a hello. Hello, everybody. How we doing? Cowbell. More cowbell is required. What's happening, JB? Good to see you, man. Purple heart, Dana. I don't know why, but I do understand that you have a thing for it. You've got a thing going on. Okay. I'm going to move you to the bench. How are we doing? How's our figures doing? 13%. We're doing really well with the CPU. We've improved out of sight. Here's the guy that I'm talking about. So you guys can see what's going on. All right. There we go. That's the guy right there. Okay. This is the guy we need to cut. So you can see we're going to have to drill some holes through here. We're going to drill through here and at least get a hole in the middle, somewhere where we can start cutting out shapes. Okay, shapes, as the word says. I'm just going to stick this down with a bit of super glue. A little flap has just come up on that one there. And I just need to tidy that up. Better. I'll grab a drill. I want something that cuts through there with a brad point. Something that's large enough to take the blade, the fine blade. That's big enough. That's a 7 mil. We're going to cut a couple of holes in there. We're going to cut a hole in there. So I'll grab a little block, get something under it. Get my drill. I'll get the saw while we're at it. And we're going to throw in the nice fine cutting blade. This little guy here, which is like a little coping saw blade. It's not quite as small, but it's not quite but it works really well with this handheld cutter. First things first, we're going to drill a couple of holes in here. And I'm going to use a small drill as well, and I'm going to drill a couple of smaller holes through the head here as well. That's just a little bit too big. Probably grab a 4, this is a 7. The blade's fine. You'll be fine. Tom, relax. Just relax. Shut your eyes and let it happen, as they say in the movies. Do they? Do they say that really? I don't know. Okay, we've got an access hole there. We'll do a couple more. And that way we can maneuver the blade across there and take that block out, and then we've got a bigger area to swivel and turn and carry on. Put one in here as well if I can. That might do it for now. Let's see how we go with that. Let's do the starfish, which is nice and easy. Start that with that guy there. It's the easier of the two. Right, we're going to be very gentle. We're going to go nice and slow, and we're going to work on getting these cut out. It's a very, very fine blade, and it's only 5 millimeters thick. It's quite a nice thin piece, so it's not too bad. We should be able to do this quite easily. Like that. And that's beautiful. It just works really, really well. You can see that hole there. Okay, through the back there. It cuts it really, really well. And not too slow, mind you. It's nice and quick as well. Very nice. A little bit of filing around the rough edges. There's not too many rough edges. It cuts pretty well. It's cutting pretty well. The difficulty is just getting the right angle on this guy. Okay, here we go. I think my battery just died. I've got another one right here somewhere. I'll charge that one up while I re-top this one up. Where's that battery gone? I've got to find a battery. Hang on, here it is. Okay. I'll just throw this one on the charger while we're waiting. While we're working. Okay, carry on. Carry on, he said. Let me just check the stats here. How are we doing? We've got, the CPU's nice and low. We're going good. What kind of wood is this cap? It is blackbutt, quilted blackbutt. One of your favourites, Tom. One of your favourites. Is it not? Couple of points to go. One more. There we go. Done. There's our little starfish. There we go. We just got to file that now. Make sure we file any rough bits and any tooth marks out of there. And that's our first F hole. I've got to make this one a little bit wider. I'm going to file that wider. I might even cut it just slightly. Bit more proportional now. One was a little bit narrower. It's looking. This is going to be a little bit trickier. But we have to start somewhere. I'm going to take a break so I can catch up with you guys. Let me just switch cameras for a minute. There we go. How are we all doing? Buffering. Yeah, there's a little bit there. Is there a bit buffering? Yeah, the CPU's actually gone up. It's 11:30. So we're getting some buffering, not too much. Reset that. Let's see how we're going. It's not too bad at the moment. It is a little bit. Karen Day, what's going on? What's going on? Who's the doofus now? She's going to cherish it. Do you think? Do you think she's going to cherish it? Buffering should have stopped by now. Look out. Ha. Have we lost sound? We haven't lost sound. So there is the first hole. We've got to do this guy now. Yes and yes. What, we've lost sound? Have we? Can you guys... Can you guys give me a 1 if you can hear me? Sound is fine. Okay. I'm getting confused because Mav's talking about miming, and I don't know what he means. I know there's a bit of a delay on the camera. I've deliberately done that because A, you don't need to watch my lips move in sync with the sound. I'm not lip syncing, by the way, but I'm trying to just delay some of the rendering. It's dropped back down again, which is good. Let's get to the bench and let's start again on the bench. Okay, we're going to have to, I've got to be very careful because I don't like too much overhang on this thing. I'm just going to move this out of the way. I want to be very careful, very careful. Karen Day, we've got to be very careful, Karen. Wait till it's covered blue. When it's blue, it's going to be really cool. Let's give it a red hot go, shall we? Oh no. Okay, let's go. We're going to start. We're going to do the little things first, the simple things, and that is to cut the big hole in the middle. Like so. And then this one here. And then this one here. Okay. And that gives us a little bit more room to maneuver now. Let me get this camera closer in. Bring this around here. Yeah, here we go. Okay, that's better. You can see closer now what I'm doing. So you can see that big hole. Hello! That big hole there is going to allow me to turn on those tight bends. And I've got that really thin coping style blade. It's not as thin as I can go, but it'll break if it's any thinner because this is 5mm thick and it's hardwood. So you need a little bit of stiffness there and a little bit of width, but you don't need it to be too much. Let's start with. Remember, I'm going to finish and finesse this with files, but let's start with getting some of these lines cut out. Can only go so far with the saw before we need to cut another piece off. There we go, and I cut away and I work away, taking out pieces at a time. There's a big blowfly in my face. Get out of my face. We're doing the belly, the spikes on. We just work away. As this hole gets bigger, it gets easier. Like A little bit at a time. There's his belly beard. His belly beard. It's a beard that goes down to his belly. Karen would be happy with that. A long beard down to his belly. Okay. Got to be very careful removing this blade. It does catch. Just doing section by section, nice and slowly. Nice and slowly, section by section. Get his curly possum tail. Get that tail cut out, and then we're going to file it and shape it correctly. We're getting there. We're making progress. You can see through there. You can see through there, I think. There you go. I'm trying to get something light behind it. There you go. You can see the tummy's showing. It's not worse than drilling. This is the fun part. Huh. Leslie, what's going on? Good to see you. How are you? The cutting is very easy. This blade makes it very, very easy. You just got to be patient, ladies and germs. Just got to be patient. Patience is a virtue. I know you don't have many, but that's one you should have. Removing the blade's the scary thing. Damn it. I've got to be very careful here because I could turn this into rubbish in no time. Okay. Let me get this scroll going now. I should be able to finish it with the blade's thickness and no thicker. Stand on the other side. Trying to get the position correct. Okay, that's as far as I'm going to go with the saw, and I'm going to use the file to tidy up that curly tail. Now, we need to do some work on the spines on the back here, the fins. Let's do some work on these fins right here. Whoa, what's happened here? Hang on a second, I've got an issue here. I've got a loose cradle. Something's come loose. Hang on, let me just fix this drill up. Okay, that screw there's come loose. That's okay, let me tighten that. Give me a sec, guys and girls. I'm just going to tighten this cradle. There we go. Vibrations sometimes loosen bits and pieces up. It's square, is it square? No, it's not square. Get that square, Manny. You doofus. There we go. Okay, we're good. Let's try again. Okay, there's the first little fin. Nice. The others go the other way. Oh my God, it just catches. Okay, that just broke off, but that's okay. It works nicely. All right, now the head is the only thing left. This is going to be delicate work. I might use, I'm not sure if I should use the coping saw, by handheld one. I'm going to keep going for a little while with this. I might need to use the coping saw in some of the finer elements. We'll see how we go. So that's what we've got so far. There he is. Okay, we've just got his head to go now. Those F-holes will look good. Once we, with black behind it, you can see that pops nicely. A dragon guitar. No, not quite. It's going to round his belly off a bit. Better. Now let's see if I can get this guy working the way I want him to. Move this table around. Get this going on this side. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, let's give this a go. Little bit by little bit, guys and girls. That's what we've got to do here. Little bit by little bit. Little bit by little bit. Get out of there. Okay, we're almost there. We're getting there. We're getting there. All right, just his little head to go. We've got his shoulder and his neck done. This is going to be very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Got his little spikes on the back of his head. Now we need his two big horns. And then his eye and his mouth and his nose. My God, I'm almost there. I'm going to take a break for a minute and just collect my thoughts in my head. What's going on? Can you still hear me? Yes, you can. That's good. Have we got lag? No, we don't. It's pretty good. But let's see what this camera's doing. I'm a little bit delayed, but that's okay. That's not too bad. It's we're not losing sound. Willy Wonko, what's going on? Dana, we've got about 2 cuts left and then we're done. Then you can watch. Leslie, what are you saying? We need to name the seahorse. Well, her name's Olivia, but maybe we can just call the seahorse Ollie. Short for Olivia or Olivier or Oliver. Seamus. Ha. How you doing, Lise? Okay, let's get to the last couple of cuts, okay? Let's do that. Rightio, let's get the last 2 cuts. There's actually about 5 cuts, but they're going to be very, very small and very, very controlled, I think. I hope. God, I hope. God, I hope. Now, this is the tricky part here. I've got to go around this part here first. And now we're going to take some of that away. Oh, it's getting fiddly, guys and girls. It's getting fiddly. Oh, I'm almost there. I'm almost there. Now this is tricky. This is really tricky. Guys, this is really tricky. Let's get this way and do the horns. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, we're there. We're there. We're just about there. This is the finest cut of the lot. It's very important. Oh, got it, because I've got to keep that little thingy bob there, which you can't see at the moment, but I'll show you in a minute. Let me get this a bit lower if I can. Get this a bit closer to you guys if I can. Sorry, I'm trying to have enough room to work, but I also want you guys to see what I'm doing. And then I've got to file this beast. Get down there. Okay, let's do these. It's one. Two. One more cut. Okay, that's his little crown. I've got the nose to do now, and then I'm done. Wow, this is tricky. This is really tricky. Okay, let's try and do this without breaking anything. Okay, I'm going to go down this way. I've done it. I think I've done it, guys. I think I've done it. Oh man, I'm really pushing my luck. Just one cut to go. One cut to go. Go from this side. Get his little nose done now, and then he's good. Okay. Done. We've succeeded. We have succeeded. I just need to file a little bit. I've got to file a little bit, but we're done. Even this intricate piece in the middle here, which I hope will separate his eye. There's a little floating piece of wood. It's connected to this. So this piece is all one piece. I had to get that line close, but not too close as to break that off. There he is. What do you think? Da-da-da-da! There's our little guy. Light shining through. Yep, we can try and do that. Let me see. Light shining through. Let me see how I'm going to do that. Maybe up here. If we can turn this camera up and get some light behind him. There you go. Can you see that guy now? All right, there we go. You can see him there. There you go. How's that? He's not too bad. Turned out okay. I'm pretty happy with that. And I've got to refine it with a file, and we're going to do a little bit of that now. Get the needle files on there and just tidy up a couple of sharp edges. And then once that's sanded, it'll be nice. Look at him go. Yes, he's going good. Yeah, Tom, you'd be surprised how much control there is actually in this saw. It has got a speed, it's got a speed dial, a speed variation, and it's got to go fast enough to be able to turn and bite quickly, but gently enough so that there's actually a hammer feature here which moderates the vibration on this saw. Sometimes the blade hammers and like jitters, and if you put it on the smooth setting, it's pretty much like a sewing machine. It's quite very smooth in its traction. So you got to get it smooth, but you got to be very patient. And I never push into the wood. I always pull away and let the teeth just grind away very, very small. To get fine stuff like that, you need to use a coping saw. And I've got one up there on the bench up there. There is a coping saw, table and saw I've got. A coping saw and table that I've got just up there. But the saw is fixed, and this guy, you need to remove it and get this guy, and it's a big piece, and it's great for little things, but it's not very good for big whole pieces with cutouts in the middle. So hand is the only way to go. Now, I could have used the jeweler's saw, my little diamond tip, 1/16 of a mil blade, and gone around there, and it would have taken me a bit of time. This is just quicker, but the more I use it, the better I get. So I just have to trust myself, back myself, and there it is. So there's our F hole for that guy there. Not too bad. Looks pretty cool. I could have done it a little bit upright there, but then when you sit the guitar up, it looks like he's dead on the bottom of the C. Looks like there's the back of it there, so you can get a cleaner look without any. There, it's cleaner there. All right. Because you've got that glue and there's some gunk on there. And once we sand that off, it'll look nice and clean. Not bad at all. It's not a bad test, Leslie, but the blade is the important part there. I didn't use a wide blade. I used the thinnest blade I can get. It's about 3 millimeters or 1/8 of an inch. The teeth are tiny, like a hacksaw. It's not like a traditional jigsaw. So they do angle down, so it does cut on the downstroke, but that just allows you to bite and turn at the same time. And it works pretty well. I've had to find the right blade to do that. I've tested it a couple of times with flat blades and with angled blades, and you get mixed results. Anyway, I'm happy with that. What I want to do is finesse that now with a little bit of, with my files. So I'm just going to work on that slowly. I'm just glad that we haven't lost cameras and we haven't lost voice today. The stream's actually doing okay. I keep throwing away to the wrong camera, by the way, too. The wrong screen, but forgive me for that. Let me grab my files. Needle files, where are you? Here we go. And these guys I'm just going to take off some of the rough little bites and smooth them out. I've got a round one. Because I want to round those ends on that starfish. I've got a oval or domed, if you like, and I've got a dead flat straight edge knife that I'll use. So I'm going to just work on the curves first. I need a straight edge on this guy here. I'm going to work on the outside boundary first. Get the curved one on there because it needs to turn with a circle. That neatens it up a little bit. Get those corners nice and sharp. Use the round guy in here. That's all nice. This one here. Get the flat one in here. I need the square one with a straight edge, not the tapered edge. Where is the square one with the tapered edge? Has this got a square edge? No, it hasn't. Let me grab the square flat one. This guy. Yep. There we go. It's fine. Round one. Let's get a bump out of there. There we go, nice and round. The rest of it's okay. This one here, nice and flat. These guys here. We're good, done. That'll be sanded, and there it is. Our little dragon, sea dragon. What do you think of that, guys and girls? What did you think of that? Is that good? Let me see if I can disable this camera for a minute. Give me a sec. Deactivate. Activate. How's that? That's better. Got rid of the lag, sort of. Just going to catch up with the chat, guys. Fans of Hank, how long would he sand and shape this sound hole? Oh, look, I'm not done with it. I've got to do some sanding, but I don't want to sit here talking to you guys sanding away for 2 hours. I want to do other things. So when I hang up the stream, I'll go back to it and I'll tidy it up. Remember, it's got to be glued down. I've got to sand it. Once it's glued, I'm going to trim the edges, round them over, then give it a good sanding before we put some color on there. So I've got a lot of work to do on it yet. But it's okay. It's good. Dana, I knew you would have kittens. But they're all safe and everything's good. Now, let's get back to this neck. I want to have it just check this neck. So this guy here, we want to check the radius on that guy and the thickness. I don't think I can go too much more on that because it is getting to the point where I'm going to hit the cavity where the truss rod is. But if we have a look at what we've got here, so I'll move this guy away. The one thing I didn't do on this end, I'll do in a second, is the stars. I want to just quickly sand this guy a little bit and just take some measurements and check this guy. So let me pop that down there. I'll move this out of the way. Put it somewhere safe. Remember the fretboard? Look how good that looks. Look at that fretboard. That is sensational. I love that board. It's really cool. Let's pop this guy down here. I'm going to pop the Watsy-doovers, the wings on this guy now on there and see what it's looking like, right? So I want to get the wings on there and line everything up and see how much more transition work I need to do at the heel. So let me just position this. We'll grab the wings and we'll get some wings on here. Let me just clamp this guy up here so it doesn't fall. Let me grab those wings. Where have I got those? In the other room. Okay. Wings, 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 wings. So I'm going to clamp these on and see how we're looking. Let me move that camera up a little bit. There you go. See, that's starting to look like a base now, is it not? Does that not look like a base to you guys? It looks fantastic, I have to say. It looks unreal. Let me line this guy up. So the way we do that is we get onto this side and we switch these over. Line that up. Clamp it up. Oh, that's going to be awesome. And I've got some work to do here. I've got to carve away there. So this is why I want to do this. I might just, what I will do is probably glue this together and then, glue this together, and then when it's glued, I will then continue working on this neck here, this transition piece here. I've got to take about 1/8 of an inch off there and do some work in there, fine work. And then we need to cut that fretboard perimeter away from the cap and get the cap glued on. So that's the next step. We're going to glue this guy together. I'm just going to check the sides, make sure everything's going well. Let me clamp this guy up, see how it clamps up and holds. Where's my big clamp? I need a big clamp. Just going to clamp it temporarily just to hold it in place while I check a few things. Okay, that's looking really good. That's flush at the back. It's looking great. Have a look at that guy. It's starting to look like a base now. I'll show you guys on the cam. There we go. What do you think, guys? Starting to look like a bass now, right? Looks great at the back. It looks good with the carve, that neck. And you can see the transition there. So it ends here. You can see it ends there. I need to take a little bit more off there and just finesse, just round that over, drop that away, and finesse this area in here. But I can do that once it's glued because I need it to pretty much the wings on there so I can blend in those joints so it looks like one piece. Okay. What do we got? It's a neck through bass, pretty much. Fabulous. You like it? Oh, good. I'm glad you like it. What do you think? Is Buddha going to like it? I think Buddha's going to love it. Look at this. That's a great looking bass. That is going to have a Mr. Glynn's Mr. Glynn's precision pair of pickups here, and of course a jazz bass down here. Now I have got the hardware, the bridges arrived as well. I'm just waiting on the pickups with Odin as well. The pickups are coming with Odin, but that's it there. That's the shape. It's going to look good. Can't wait to get this. So we may as well glue this guy up. What do you guys think? We could probably glue this thing up, I say. Clamp this guy up. Why don't we do that? I reckon we could, you know. I reckon we could. I've got to check the edges, make sure they're all square. There is a little bit of a skew on one side. I'm just going to make sure that that's all square with my square. We may as well glue that guy up. Why don't we glue it up? Why don't we glue it up? I say. Why don't we glue it up? The only other thing, yeah, of course, we can't route the pockets, the cavities for the pickups until the cap is on. And we can't get the cap on until the wings are on. So we have to do that. There's an epoxy for everything. Uncle Ted's is the Spartan, that's right. With the body cavities, there's no contours, right? No, it's pretty flat. There's no contours, no. So we're going to have a flat because we've gone pretty deep, and you can. There is. Oh, sorry, I lie. There will be. I've left a bit of meat here, so that we can carve a belly cut, a tummy cut in there, and still have, that much meat, so it doesn't come through. So we've got a little bit of meat there. We can cut away and carve away. We've got the full thickness there, about 1.5 inches in. So we can put a nice little belly cut in there. That's the only contouring we're going to do. And of course, the edges are going to be rounded, 1/4 inch rounded edges. And then when you round the base over, it's going to look more like a base. The belly cuts are good. Sometimes I worry about me. Well, you don't need to worry, Mav. I'm fine. Okay, I'm going to check the squareness on these guys here. Going to get back to the bench. Going to grab my square, and I'm going to check some things. Being a square myself, things are square. Check the thickness of this neck as well. But that's pretty good. Okay, this side's a bit top heavy here. I need to get that guy sanded on that sand. I'll be back in 2 seconds. I'm just going to sand this. Let me just give you a look at my old girl on our "We'll be back soon" screen. This is my girl shadow, my late girl shadow. Yeah, they all got to go to heaven eventually. They can't stay with us forever, and it's one of those things where we just got to keep honouring them and keep remembering them. Let me check this out now and see how we went. I just planed that edge a little bit, just very slightly, and that's nice and square. It's pretty good. Actually, I need to take a little bit more off here, just a touch, just a touch. On this side here, I'm just going to mark that edge there. It's just about 1/2 millimetre skew. Just going to straighten that up. Check the other side. The other side looks pretty good. That's just the here. Okay, back in a sec. I'll be 2 minutes. Okay, let's have a look now. We should be good. Just going to double check this. Make sure that edge is nice and square. That's perfecto. And this guy. Not happy with that guy. No, it's still a bit out. Let me just get that. I'm going very gently, very lightly. All right. I think we got it this time. So it looks pretty good now. That's spot on. Yep, it's good. We're good. That's
Mom, somebody just followed me.
Skirmers. Thank you very much for the follow. Austrians. Well, I'm not Austrian, I'm Australian. But I know what you mean. Okay. Keep doing it the wrong way. Welcome to the stream. Let me say hello. My name's Manny. I'm based in Sydney in Australia, not Austria. And there's a bit of a lag on my camera at the moment, as you may have noticed. Welcome aboard. Thank you very much for the follow. Really appreciate it. Okay. Let's get back to this. Let's check this guy out. We'll clamp it up and we'll check the squareness and the gaps and the things and the wattses and the duvets. Okay, that looks pretty good. That's where it goes. This guy goes here like so. Staggered. Clamp that up and see what we look like. I've got a problem with one side of the gap. I've got to check the squareness of the edge of this guy. This guy here might have a bump on it. I'll just check it. Yep, slightly out. I'm going to just sand that by hand here on the bench. I'll just grab my sanding thingy-me-bob. That's beautiful. Check this side. Bit of a bump. You grab a pencil. I've got a problem with this side here. There's just slightly got a bump or two. You can see the pencil in the middle there. It's a bump on either side. clean now. Let's check that. It's pretty good. Let's get this up here. Let's glue this down. Just line it up. Get all these things happening. Check the gaps, etc. Top looks good. Oh, damn. What's going on there? I'm not happy with that edge. Okay, I'm going to spend some more time on this neck. There's something not right with the back of the neck. It might have a little twist in it, so I'm going to just line that up. It looks okay, there's a bit of a bump there. I need to work on that, but I'm out of time at the moment. What we're going to do now is we're going to get that neck. We're going to go outside. We're going to smooth that neck out. First things first, I'm going to grab the Telecaster neck. We're going to cut the headstock, and we're going to trim those edges on that. So let me pop this down. I'm going to work on that later. Okay. Where is that neck, by the way? What do I do with it? Should I put it away somewhere? Did I have that neck somewhere here? I showed you guys what I did with it. Oh yeah, we hung it up. There it is. This glue is still wet. I can't really touch it. It's still a bit wet. Leave that. We won't do that. I might just call it there. Okay, what I'm going to do is quickly sand this top and remark it out. We've got some gunk and some crap on this top here. So I'm going to re-sand this top here. Clean that up, see what it looks like, mark out the telly shape on that as well. Let me quickly grab my mask, put that on. No, I'm not going to use biscuits. I could use biscuits, but I'm not going to need them. Oddly satisfying. Well, thank you very much. I don't even know what you're referring to there, but I'll just take it as a hit. And thank you for following there, SkyMers. Good to have you on board. Okay, let me just quickly sand this guy. just going to put some spirits on that. I want to see what it looks like with the quilt. And I need to clean up those glue lines still there, but I'll do that later. But I want to just check the patterns with the quilt on that guy. So let's have a little look at that. If I can get that up close enough for you guys to see as well. There we go. I'll grab the pattern. I'm going to draw another border around that guy. It is. Remember, that's going to get stained blue, but we want to get a look at some of this pattern. Let's just put this guy on here. I got rid of the old strat outline that was on this piece. A gift. Thank you very much for the gifted sub. What's going on here? Who gave us massive amounts of gifts? Holy cow. That was strange. Well, I'll take it. 22 gifted subs. Wow, thank you very much, whoever that was. What can I say? Thank you. Okay, there's our there's our shape. And of course, we're going to put some spirits on there just to get a look at that quilt. That's incredible. It is. Thank you very much, guys. That's something else. Thank you very much. I better say thank you personally here. Well, anonymous gifter, thank you so much for that. What can I say? Welcome aboard. Thank you for gifting 22 gifted subs. Amazing. Okay. Let's get some colour on here and see what this looks like. We're not actually getting colour on it, we're just going to put some spirits on here to see what that's going to look like once it's painted. You can see the quilt there. It's beautiful. A bit of colour around there, a bit of blue. And she's going to look magic. And you can see the ripples through there. Okay, once that goes blue, that quilt will pop. It'll get darker in there, and that's gonna look pretty good. You can see the cutout there now, nice and defined. That's turned out really good. That little seahorse, and of course we've got the little starfish up there. This little guy here. More cowbell. Willie, this is just for you. The cowbell's back. And you love it. More cowbell. So that's it there, guys and girls. I'm happy with that. What I can do is cut this out. I don't want to do that yet. Should I do that? Yeah, I can do that. We'll cut this out roughly. May as well cut that out now that we've done that. We can cut this guy out and get ready to glue this guy onto the body. That's what I want to do next. So let's cut this guy out roughly. I'll use the handsaw while I'm here. just change the blade. In actual fact, I'll keep this blade because it's nice and finessey. Thank you very much. That was amazing. I think 22 gifted subs in one hit. I don't think I've ever had that before in one hit, and that's amazing. Thank you very much. It's popping now. Yeah. Yeah, Willie, I think it's going to work. It's going to work okay, especially when we've got beautiful chrome hardware, and it's going to have a chrome plate. It's going to be shiny and blue and nice and shiny and chromy. And the little girls like shiny things, so big boys like shiny things too sometimes, and big girls. We're going to do that. Let's just carve this out roughly. Because this is going to pop down over the body and cap that up. And we'll cap that up tomorrow, I think. Alrighty, there she is. That's our little cap. And I'm going to call it there, guys and girls. Let's see who else is on. I'll see if I can jump across to someone else. Who is on? Who is on? Joe Pags. He's still on. I don't know what he's doing. What's he up to? We can go across there if you want. Let's see if I can get this to go. No problems, guys and girls. Raid. Joe Pags. I'm going to raid him. Okay, guys and girls, I will see you tomorrow. Hang in there. Look after each other. Look after yourselves too. Don't mind my out of sync words. Like a Take care. See you all tomorrow. Bye for now.